Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of the Country Underground podcast. On this episode, I'll be chatting with Oregon-based country singer-songwriter Melissa Mickelson. She joins me a little bit later on, but first I want to get to some of the latest trending stories in country music. Country rockers Parmalee have announced a release date of July 21st for their highly anticipated sophomore album featuring their current single, Sunday Morning. The band's debut album was released back in 2013. Curb Records has signed the group Little Feather to their roster and released their single, Hillbilly Love Song. The duo gained notoriety from their drive-thru concert series on Facebook and YouTube, where the band piles into a van and plays a concert while going through fast food drive-thrus. Their full album with Curb Records will be released on September 29th. iHeartRadio DJ Bobby Bones found out earlier this week that he has been inducted into the National Radio Hall of Fame. His 5 million plus listeners across the country voted for him to receive this prestigious honor. The formal induction ceremony will be November 2nd. Alrighty, joining me on the phone now is Melissa Mickelson. How are you tonight?
I'm so good, Ryan. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Now, you're a country singer from the Oregon area, correct?
Yes, I actually live in a town called Boring, and it's outside of Portland. We got a second stoplight not that long ago. It was a big deal. It was exciting.
Boring. Wow, I've actually never heard of that before.
Yeah. If you blink, you'll miss it. But it's a cute little town nestled at the base of Mount Hood, and I love it. It's just a small town. Like I said, we got a second stoplight, and it was a big deal. And we have a little park, and it's a really adorable place to live. But
now you're close enough to Portland, though. They were able to make trips fairly often, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think I'm like 35-ish minutes.
Okay. So that's not bad at all then.
Yeah. Not at all.
So tell me a little bit about your music. How would you describe it to people who've never heard you before?
My music is a mix. I love blues. I love a little bit of rock. But I also love just like those really amazing country songs that really speak to you. And so I like to I'm a mutt of country music. We'll call me a mutt of country music. You know, sometimes in a recording studio, you don't always get to pick, songs evolve and they change. And I love the songs that I have out, and I poured my whole soul into them. But as an artist, you always tend to, you evolve, you change. And I think I've evolved and changed even since that first EP came out. And every show that you play and every time you sing a song, you evolve and change as an artist. So it's, it may not seem that way, but going into those songs, I had all those ideas in mind, and that's what came of it.
Yeah, and you're talking about your EP that you released about a year ago?
Actually, it's now been, I think it's a year and a half. I might be coming up on 2.
Okay.
2 years now, yeah.
Well, before we get too far into the interview here, I want to go and play a song from that, if you don't mind.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Yeah, let's play Another Thing Comin'.
I love Another Thing Comin'.
White rain does it every time.
Such a fantastic song there.
I love that song. I was jamming out to my own song. I really was.
So tell me a little bit about that song.
I still like it. I actually, to be honest, that is the first song I ever wrote. And I was out with my girlfriends one night. We were actually, which is a funny story because nobody wanted us to sing karaoke once they heard us sing karaoke because we kind of blew everybody out of the water, me and her. We were having a good time. And so they were like, no, you can't sing anymore. And I was kind of ticked. I was like, that's not fair. So only the bad singers get to sing karaoke? No. And anyways, there was this group of guys, and they were really into just not letting us have a good time that night. And I just really wanted a night out with my girlfriends. Just, I wasn't gigging, I didn't have a show. And so I came home actually really ticked off. And this is what happened. I actually sat down and I wrote the song with my good friend, Benji Harris, who now has his own EP out. And I told him, I was like, this is what happened. This is how I feel. And this is what I want. And bam, like, I don't know, an hour and a half later, Another Thing Coming was born.
Awesome. Well, we're certainly glad it was. It's a great song.
Thank you.
So tell me,
I love it.
Going backwards a little bit, tell me a little bit about your growing up around music. Was it part of your family growing up?
My mom is super musical, and everybody on her side of the family is super musical. You hand my grandpa a microphone or just randomly on the street, he'll just bust out some tunes. And my dad, who's not musical, can't carry a tune in the bucket to save his sweet life. He made sure that we listened to all sorts of good music. Like, we were well-rounded kids, me and my brother and my sister. And I always like to tell the story is when we were kids, my dad loved Johnny Cash. He loved all the greats, and, he'd rock us to sleep, but we would never be rocked to sleep to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. We would never get You Are My Sunshine. We never get, what's that, the Mockingbird song. We went to sleep to Ring of Fire and Highwaymen every night. And so those songs, those Johnny Cash songs, those Waylon songs, those Hank songs, have been burned in my brain since literally before I could talk. Like, he sang them to us every night. I mean, me and Johnny laughing and drinking was what my dad would sing to us as we went to sleep. So,
I love that you're a Johnny Cash fan.
Yeah, I do. I love it. And I really what better fan to be? He made sure that we were. He's like, I'm a Johnny Cash fan. We also love Roger Miller. We listen to Elton John. We love the Eagles. And all of this was on vinyl. It doesn't date me, but it was all on vinyl. And he taught us how to handle the records and make sure that, we didn't touch them and how to put them away correctly. And so I learned growing up all the great music. This is where it started. This is where the basis of good country music came from. Like I said, the guy can't sing, but he was like, my kids are going to know what's good.
Yeah, it sounds like you got a great basis growing up. It's Johnny Cash is definitely a great role model to have. If you haven't already, definitely check out his museum in Nashville.
I have not yet. There's so much to do in Nashville that A, sometimes I feel overwhelmed. B, I want to do it all. And C, I'm always working while I'm there. Like, I'm writing, I'm in the studio, I'm networking. So all those cool things that, like, I haven't been to the Country Music Hall of Fame. I haven't been to the Ryman. And I was like, I got to get there. But when I get there, I'm like, I want to work. So it's on my list.
Well,
to go there.
As long as it's on your list, but definitely making sure to get lots of work done is good too.
I get a lot of work done, that so much that I forget to play.
So tell me about how often do you make trips out there?
For a while, starting from last fall, I was there about every other month or so. And it's kind of slowed down right now because summer is so busy with shows here regionally that I probably won't go back for, the summertime, and maybe probably go back in the fall again. But it was consistent, every other month for about, 4 or 5 days.
Do you have any big shows coming up anytime soon?
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Yes, I do. I have a show, the Marion County Fair, which I didn't even know. I'm opening for Diamond Rio, which is huge.
Oh, wow, that is huge.
They didn't even tell me. They were just like, hey, do you want to play the Marion County Fair again? I was like, hell yeah. Sure. And then I looked on the internet and I was like, whoa, that's Diamond Rio. Nuh-uh. And then I texted the guy who booked it, and he's like, "That's real life." I was like, "Am I being punked? Am I being punked?"
I mean, that
And he's
just
like,
sounds
"No."
too
And
good
I
to
was
be
like,
true.
I was like, "This is real." And then July 28th, I'm down in Central Point, Oregon, for the Country Crossings Music Festival. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
It sounds familiar.
And it's in the Willamette, the Bymart Willamette Family Festival circuit of concerts. Yeah. But that is a 4-day extravaganza down there. And I'll tell you what, Chris Stapleton is playing it, Keith Urban, Jake Owen, Luke Bryan. All these amazing artists are playing that festival, and I'm playing that festival. It's crazy. And when I booked that show, I was like, yeah, heck yeah, I'll play it. And I thought I was going to be put on the stage by like the porta potties. I'm a regional act, right? Let's be honest. Like sometimes you play at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Wednesday next to the porta potties, and you happily take it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It happens.
Yeah.
Right?
But then sometimes you get surprised.
I don't know how. Yeah, like this time I'm playing on a Saturday night at 6:30 in front of the main stage.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
I get goosebumps. I'm just like, this is unreal. This is unreal. I don't even know, like, I asked the lady, I was like, are you sure you got the right girl? Are you sure? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, where do I sign? So that's a pretty big show for me. I'm also opening up for Ned Ledoux, which Chris Ledoux I was a huge fan of, am a huge fan of Chris Ledoux, another one of those greats growing up. So I'm opening up for his son, Ned Ledoux, who has some really awesome music out right now, in August at the Grant County Fair. So that's going to be a really good show too. And then in between those shows, I'm playing, bars and playing some little festivals, some summer park concerts. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it. I know I'm reading your bio, and it says you've played with Joe Nichols, Bailey Bryan, Runaway June. Some great names there.
And I didn't mention that one because it's already in the past for me because I was like, oh, moving on. It was June 4th down Country Fest at Waterfront Park. And the Bull asked me to, hey, do you want to kick off this show with all these amazing artists? And I was like, well, yeah, of course. And it was the coolest experience. The Bull treated me amazing. I had my own trailer with like my star on it. And they asked me what kind of snacks I wanted. And I was like, nobody's ever fed me. And I was like, I don't need a lot of snacks. And, if I needed anything special. And they were just so amazing to me. And the show was so amazing. I had a crowd of at least like 500 plus obedient fans who did what I told them to and were there to listen to music. And it is honestly a day that I will never, ever, ever forget.
Yeah, those are the best type of fans, the ones that are actually there paying attention to the music.
Yeah. You're not background music. You're not there, just happen to be there at the same time that they are.
Yeah, which is the kind of thing that happens at a lot of bar shows and that kind of thing.
Yeah. And that's okay because my show's the same if they were 2 or 2,000. Yeah. I still pour everything I got into it. Yeah, 2 people, you got the best darn show you ever seen. 2,000 people, you get the same show. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that's the best attitude to have. And now, was it at that same festival that you opened for Bailey Bryan?
Yep. It was me and then Bailey Bryan, and then Trent Harmon, and then Runaway June, which we love, and Joe Nichols.
Yeah.
So I kind of kicked it off.
Bailey is another one of the great up-and-coming artists of our time right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's super talented.
I had the opportunity to meet her when she was on her radio tour. And
oh, very cool.
Yeah, and I kind of gave her a hard time over her signature ripped jeans. She's always wearing those ripped jeans. And
I have a pair on right now, and they're beautiful.
Oh,
they're so comfortable. Oh. I know.
And
I know.
I told her, that maybe once her CD sold more or when she sold more, maybe she'd be able to afford to buy some new ones.
Yeah, some pants that aren't ripped.
Yeah. And
fortunately, the more ripped they are, the more expensive they get.
Yeah. And she kind of got on my case a little bit going, I appreciate you even though you have a lot of dad jokes.
There you go. She remembers you.
Yeah. Where can people find your music if they want to look you up?
So I am basically on any platform where you can find digital music. So iTunes, Spotify. I would love, let's call this. I would love if everybody could follow me on Spotify. I would love to build my Spotify like my followers. I think people forget that there's a follow button on Spotify as well, and you can find friends on there too. But I'm on iTunes, I'm on Spotify. You can find me on Amazon, Google Play, like all these places. You basically type my name into the browser, and it will give you everything, all the places that I'm listed. I always like to tell people, there's a model that's in a bikini that's not me. So when you type my name in, you can linger on her for like a minute, but if you look right next to her, there's me. And it'll list all the places that you can find my music. I'm also big on social media. I love Instagram. Instagram is my jam. So you can find me on Instagram. It's at musicmelly. I love Twitter, not as much as I love Instagram. But I'm also on Facebook at Melissa Mickelson Band. So you can find me on there. And I'll tell you what, sometimes I randomly go live on those things and we just chat. Like the other day I went live and I ate some Taco Bell while I was talking to the people.
Yeah,
and
that's the perfect kind of connection to make with your fans.
Yeah, we just sat down and I was like, I need to tell y'all a secret. I like Taco Bell. I like extra mild sauce. Anybody else like extra mild sauce? And we just love to chat. So if you follow me on social media, just expect that I love to engage. If you send me a message, I will always get back to y'all. Even if it takes me all day, I always get back to y'all.
And that's great to be like that with your fans, to give them that personal connection. And
there's without you guys, without fans, I wouldn't my music wouldn't exist. Like me as an artist, it'd be cool and sitting with my guitar, like hanging out, but without people to engage and people to buy music and people to learn and love my music, there'd be no me. So like fans are number one. Absolutely number one.
Absolutely.
It's so important.
So before we wrap things up, I do want to play one more song here. I know when I asked you which songs you wanted me to play, you were very quick to say, play When You're Holding Me. Tell me a little bit about that one.
Yeah, I love this song. So When You're Holding Me is actually written, again, by my friend Benji Harris. And it was two other folks co-wrote it with him. And when I heard this song, I have a thing and that make you feel something. And when I heard this song, close my eyes, it sat with me so well, and I just couldn't stop. I need this song. And so When You're Holding Me, it's just a really cool song, and it makes you feel good. And it's got a beautiful melody. So me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and we'll wrap things up here with this song.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. I so appreciate it.
like a hurricane. You leave me breathlessly and you call my name. Nobody's ever made me feel the way that you do when you're holding me.
Thank you to Melissa for joining me, and thanks to you for listening. If you enjoy this podcast, please do me a favor and share it on all your social media pages, and leave me a rating and review on iTunes. Thank you so much again.